Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, MC Sam. My name is Sam and today I'm going to be showing off the Rancher from the Industrial Revolution mod. So now there's a few things I'm going to be talking about today when it comes to the Rancher, because a lot of the recipes, when you check the uses, it doesn't really tell you what it does per se. For really any of the things in Industrial Revolution. So you kind of just have to figure it out yourself. So there's going to be some things I'm going to be talking about, especially in the next, in upcoming videos, where I'm going to be going into more. I'm going to be going more in depth about Industrial Revolution machines and kind of what they do, what their uses are. But today, we're going to be mainly focused on the Rancher, because this is actually a very interesting machine that I can see a lot of uses for. So let me get some of these items into my hotbar, and we can kind of go into further discussion about how this machine works. So now this machine works by there's a configuration panel that you can check. So you can have it feed babies. So if we set up like a small little area to put animals inside of, let's just put like a small little pen for some animals. Put them in there. Even though they're gonna be extremely annoying. We could put some wheat in here. And since it's set to mate adults, it begins mating them. Now, it'll continue consuming the wheat as a way to try to feed the baby cow over and over and over again until it grows to an adult. Now, this is something that you can switch off pretty easily. There's also a feature of the machine that allows you to kill the animal. So if you set this to like 1, or you could set it to 10 or 100 or whatever you want to set it to, you throw in a sword and it'll kill the cows or any animal until it reaches the number that you have it set to. So now the kill feature, like the kill function, doesn't really work if you have a large scale farm of multiple types of animals, because at least let me, before I make that claim, let me actually check it, because I want to see if... No, it does. It does work. Okay, so yeah, so if you had it set to 2, wow, I'm actually just learning about this myself. You had this set to 2, then it would, yeah, okay. So it does work. It works very well. And that actually is perfect, because I have something that I want to show off to really show you how strong of a machine that this is going to be. So first of all, let's check the range for this. It has a very large range, and as you can see, it goes up. It has a wide level as well. I'll show a sneak peek of what's going on over there. But it's got a large range. We can decrease it, and it becomes very small. You can make it even wider. It goes up to, if I can slide it. Come on, work with me. There we go. And then it'll go to 9. So it goes 9 blocks in every direction. I have a feeling that might be more than 9 blocks up. That definitely is more than 9 blocks up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So it goes 18 blocks up in the air from the original starting point, which is interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because it goes 9 blocks in every direction except for the Y level, which is double. Which I guess that kind of makes sense, because it's trying to make a cube that's 18 by 18. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So we have that. Don't worry about all that stuff. I was testing some things out. Let's actually just clear that. Um, but yeah, so it has a very large range on it, and you can have multiple types of animals, and it works very well. The killing system is a little bit weird, but I'll get to that in a second. Now, let's check out what I've created over here. So now this has multiple floors because you can have obviously multiple floors. It has the Y level for a reason, and you can have multiple floors. Now, if you wanted to, you could make this even further compact, because you don't really need, for like pigs, chickens. For sheep, you will need a 2 block wide height, just for the adults. But if you wanted to have like chickens and pigs, you could just have it be like one. You could just have it like have the fence here, then have like the cobblestone, and then it goes around like this. Now it will definitely make it harder to get into because the area you have to get into is only 1 block tall. But if you have a way of, making yourself smaller, or you could just use, if you wanted, if you really wanted it to be that compact, you could, if you ever needed to get in there, just use trapdoors so then you begin crawling. But for the sake of today's video, we're just going to go the easy way and just make it 2 blocks on each level. Now we can throw some cows in here. Let me make sure. So I have some of these settings a little bit different. We don't really want this thing to kill them. We want feed babies turned off. Now we can put, let's say we're gonna have some sheep and cows. Well, we just need wheat. We're gonna have some pigs. Okay, well, we just need carrots. And then for chickens, we just need seeds. So now we can throw these in here. This the item pipe will suck the items from this chest, put it into the rancher, and now if we place some animals, let's say we place a couple of cows, they'll begin mating. We could go up onto some of the higher up levels. I just realized I had a chicken egg already there. Let's get some, chicken. We'll get pig. You could have, a couple of sheep. And then you will have some pigs. And then a couple of chickens. And they'll mate. Now these other 3 levels, obviously, like I said, if you wanted to, you could compact this and then just have 1 block. So you could have you could have the chicken level closer to the pig level because you only need, 1 block tall levels for the pigs and the chickens. So you could have, an extra level. Actually, probably like 2. I would say 3 would probably be a bit of a stretch. Could at least have 2, maybe 3 extra levels, extra floors, if you wanted to just have the rest of them be chickens and pigs. And then just have these bottom 2 be like sheep and cows. You could do that. All you really need to have is a way to get up to each floor, but that's gonna be a very easy thing to do if you just want to set if you have like an elevator mod, or if you have ladders, you could just use ladders, something like that, or a water stream, something along those lines. You don't need anything super complex. The only thing is, obviously this does have a max height, so you can only go up to this tall. You couldn't, put more floors on top of this and still expect it to work. This is the highest level it'll go. But I'll show like that. It still does work even at the top floor, Like it still produces, they'll still mate, things like that. So it does work very well. If you're making a large scale farm, animal farm of any sort, this would definitely be a very nice way of going about it. Let's say, you're like, okay, I feel like I have a lot of animals running around. Let's spawn in, let's spawn in some more. Let's just spawn in a bunch of cows. And yeah. spawn in a ton of cows. So then it just the population is just getting out of control. Like you're just like, okay, this is absurd. Like no one needs this many cows. Like this is insane. You could go over to this thing, just be like, okay, how many animals do I really want on each floor? So before I do that, I will actually lower down my friendly creature sound just so you're not constantly hearing moo, moo, moo. Yeah, I'm gonna lower it even more. So if you're like, okay, the cows are getting out of control, or you know what, if all the animals are getting out of control, you could just be like, okay, all I really need are like, let's say like 20 animals. And then all we have to do is let's take that out because we don't really. We can, as long as you have an item in this slot, obviously it's not going to be filled up by this thing. So then you could just be like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to put a sword in there, and then I'm going to let the sword go to town. Now it will kill all of the animals of a certain group, so like cows, pigs, sheep, whatever. It'll kill them until they reach until the population reaches whatever number you set it to. Now when it comes to collecting the items, it does struggle a little bit because now although it does say like there's an output here, the thing that it struggles with is it will most of the time it seems like it will cap itself at 4 items per slot. So you could have 4 leather in these 3 slots, and then like 4 raw beef in each of these 6 slots. So I would highly recommend having a separate chest just for like extracting items from here. So if you, let's say if we move if we set this to like 14. Then yeah, see, now the items are getting extracted. Now, one thing I will note about the Rancher is that an item that you put here, let's say an iron sword, it will not, if you have enchantments on it, it will not actually work. And I will show that here in a second. So we could take a look at like, let me take this out. So let's say, let's throw some more cows down. Let's move this up to like 50. So let's just spawn a bunch of cows, right? We're gonna have them all just start mating and all that good stuff. And this would be really good if you had like 50 adults, for example. And then obviously 25 of them end up mating. Or 50 of them end up mating to produce 25 babies. Well then, if the max population is set to 50, then when those babies grow up, then they'll just immediately get slaughtered. So then you have an infinite food supply without having to do anything at all. Like you just have, this is just a fully automatic, way of farming animals. Now, the one thing that it does kind of struggle to come across to like function is that if you do reach a certain point where the population is less, then is like far less than the kill number, it will kind of struggle. So let's say that there's like 27 cows, right? There's 27. There's an odd number of cows. So not all of them can mate. Well, it will keep feeding any cow that can mate until it finally mates. So that 27th cow that is not mating, it's going to require one of the baby cows to grow up to make the population 28, and then they'll finally be able to mate. But until then, that 27th cow will be constantly being fed over and over and over and over and over again. So without further ado, okay, cows, can you get out of the way? You're getting a little annoying. That's why I'm about to slaughter you guys soon. But let me put down. So if we take this iron sword, we'll put like looting 3 on it, right? We'll put looting 3. And you guys, if I go through and kind of, I kill. Let's get rid of this. Let's kill like, we kill a cow. Okay, 5 leather and 4 raw beef. Now I kill another one. you know, we got another leather into 2 raw beef. So that was another successful. And then we got, you know, 2 leather and 5 raw beef at that time. Okay? So that's kind of the level that we're looking for. Is I killed 3 cows and we got 11 raw beef and 8 leather. Okay? So that's from 3 cows. Now if I put this in here with the looting 3 and we set this to, let's say, 20, or we'll do 25, see how many that kills. It's killing quite a few. See, now that killed definitely way more than 3, right? Like that was way more than 3. And it only dropped 8 leather and 19 raw beef. If we reduce this, let's say we go down slowly, go down to like 24, right? So it should kill another one. Yeah, see, and then we'll drop it down to like 23. Oopsies. That's the wrong button. 23. So it's going to kill another one. Two leather, 2 raw beef. And another one. And see that only 3 raw beef that time. So from 3 cows, I got about like almost not quite half, a little bit over half, but you know, I got far less from just manually killing them with looting 3 than if I were then putting it into the rancher. So enchantments do not work. The only enchantment that actually works, okay, can you guys get out of the way? The only enchantment that actually works, let's get rid of that, is unbreaking. Like that's the only enchantment that's really gonna matter when it comes to this. Because that's obviously going to, let's just spawn a bunch of cows. So like if we kind of check out what it's at, Unbreaking 3, see like we spawned a ton of cows. Just spawn a bunch of them. And see, like, it's only gone down 18 durability, but we obviously spawned way more than 18 cows. So, Unbreaking 3 is the only enchantment that's really going to do anything. So if we just spawn another cow, right? Like, yeah, see, like, it didn't go down in durability. I spawned 2 cows, it didn't go down in durability at all. So yeah, so Unbreaking 3 is the only thing that's actually going to do anything when it is the only enchantment, yeah, the only enchantment that's going to do anything when it comes to this stuff. So, in conclusion, you really do need a constant food source if you do want this thing to be fully automatic, because until you get to where you want it to, and you can also have a mating limit. So if you only want, you know, 50 cows of every species, you know, or 50 animals of every species, you could limit it to 50 animals of every species. And then if you wanted to kill animals after a certain limit, you could just raise the mating limit to, like, let's say like 52, and then you could have it kill them at 52, or when it's over 50. Or you could have it be a mating limit of 100 and kill them after like 50 or whatever. You know, whatever you want to do. Another thing is with chickens, obviously you can see it's not going to pick up eggs. So if you're doing this for like an egg farm, you might want to have the chickens maybe on the bottom floor where you could have like a hopper system or something like that to collect the eggs, and then have other animals on top of that. Something along those lines, just so it's easier to collect the eggs, because obviously this thing does not do it for you. But honestly, this is a much, much easier way of farming animals, especially multiple types of animals, and it's even cooler because you do get the experience from them mating. So you could even put like mending on this, a sword, and you know, like pull out the sword and then go around and collect all the experience and repair the sword with the experience you gain from them mating. You could do something along those lines. You know, just something very interesting like that, something very easy to do. And you could also just, you know, gather the experience back from the sword killing them as well. There's a lot of like a lot of ways that you could go about it without ever having to, you know, really waste resources and just conserve your resources as much as possible. You know, there's a lot of scenarios that you could do. Like I said, the only another issue would be that if you do have multiple animals on multiple floor, or like you know, if you had chickens on multiple floors, then you could only have, you know, let's say the mating you have the max limit be like 50. Well, then the most you could have is 50 chickens in total in this entire farm. You would have to change it so that if you didn't want them to kill them, or, you know, whatever, if you had the kill limit be kill after 50, then you could only have 50 chickens. You couldn't have 50 chickens on each floor. To have 100 total, it would kill them before that ever happens. So there's some limitations to it. If you have a mod that adds other types of animals, then you could kind of get around this. Or if you had like horses, you could do it with horses and just, you know, breed them, or, you know, any other types of animals, you know, anything like that. You could do that instead of just having, you know, chickens on multiple levels. You could have, you know, cows, sheep, pigs, chickens, horses, or, you know, whatever else you want to have, any other animals. Now, obviously, you do have the limit of 4 slots, so you do need to keep that in mind, where if you do have like 9 types of, or let's see, how many floors is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you have 7 floors, you can't have 7 different food sources. You need to have you know, you need to make sure that you have multiple species of animals that can eat the same food. So like with sheep and cows, they can obviously they can both eat wheat. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're doing this. There are also other ways to power the rancher. I'm using the quantum solar panel from Tech Reborn. It also has upgrades, so you could put in like speed upgrades, things like that, just to make things faster. If you want to have like a massive farm that just, if your PC can handle it, that's the only thing I would, and that's the only warning I would give, is like, don't make a farm that your PC can't handle, because this thing could very quickly get out of control if you do not moderate it a little bit. So, like, if you don't set a, you know, if you don't give it a sword, or if you're like, okay, yeah, just kill after it gets to 1,000 or whatever, then your PC might explode if you have this completely automatic, and which is something you could definitely do if you set this up with I believe it's the farmer, yeah. So if you set this up with like the farmer, and then, you know, have this going, and have the farmer connected to your rancher, you could easily have a fully automatic animal farm going here. But that's just something to keep in mind. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video of me showing off the rancher from the Industrial Revolution mod. If you guys have any questions, please, you're more than welcome to leave them in the comment section. And yeah, my name is Sam, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel. It means the world to me, doesn't cost you guys anything. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.